What? What are we watching?
You doing that? What are we calling it? What would you call it though?
What? Dev, we would call that 2 shots. You took 2 shots. You shot it once, shot it again. Call it 2 shots.
You're shooting it for a rebound, right? Is it fair? All right, cool. Just make a quick shot. If you make it, it's your ball.
You know what I found most disappointing about this match? The court. The fuck is this? We pay them all this money and they play at a middle school gym with a shitty ass backboard and a giant wall a foot behind the hoop. Did Dev shut down Friga's drive to the right? Kind of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Room, you two.
I have so many mixed feelings about this game. Part of me thinks it was a good one-on-one, at least the first few games, and another part of me thinks it was alright. I definitely enjoyed the intensity of this 1v1, especially the first 2 games. You could tell they were really going at it, and then that 3rd game you can see the fatigue finally set in. I was surprised at how big Devin looked against Friga. You can tell Friga has the clear height advantage, but if we look at their shoulders and arms, although Devin is the shorter guy, his shoulder and arms look about the same size as Friga. So I think Friga has a little bit of a size difference, but in my first video, I overestimated it for sure. Here are 3 of my favorite clips from the game. In this first clip, I like how Dev creates some space here, does a minor hezzy to set up Friga for his next move, and then hits him with the spin move. As he's driving, he uses his offhand well, then plants his left foot slowly to mess with the timing of Friga's defense, and then hits him with a layup. This is textbook right here, just a really, really nice move, beautifully executed. In this next clip, Dev nails him with an Iverson-esque jab step cross, loses his handle a bit, and is still able to hit the pull-up jumper. This move is a testament to just how good of a jumper Dev has. This last clip was Friga's best move, hands down, and it happened in the first game when Dev was playing his tightest defense. Dev had been doing a great job shutting down Friga's drive to his right when Friga hits him with this counter. Friga spins, and I actually think Devin thought he was going to drive off this, but Friga instead steps back and nails the 3. Not much you can do against a move like that. It was just a great move, and I know Dev was thinking, damn, that was a good move. Let's talk about some defense here. Although I think Dev did a solid job of guarding Friga, he also fouled him a lot. Almost every time Friga drove hard to the right, Dev was usually giving him a stiff arm with his left. This isn't the first time we've seen Dev do this, and I've covered it in other videos, but it's definitely a foul. It would be alright if Dev was using his right arm to check him. That's good defense, and I don't mind when he bodies Friga up and stops him with his chest or stomach. That's good defense too, but when you're using your hand to blatantly stop another player's forward movement, it changes from a hand check to a foul. I think had Dev not fouled as much, he wouldn't have been able to stop Friga's drive like he did, and this would have given Friga the space he needed to hit his jumper. Hold up. If you've made it this far, stroke that like button and tell your mom I said hi. Let's take a look at Friga's defense. Friga's defense, especially when Dev is in triple threat, is overwhelmingly problematic for me. He gives Dev the hard drive to the right and doesn't take away his jumper. Friga, if you're going to play defense, you at least got to take away one or the other, but don't give them both. If you're going to give them the drive and force them to their strong side, then you need to take away their shooting pocket. Friga never does this. He needs to be closer to Dev and put a hand up where Dev is going to bring the ball up before he shoots if he's going to give Dev the right-sided drive. Alright, I kind of lied. I did find a clip where Friga does take away Dev's shooting pocket. It's just he didn't do this as often as he should have. I think the biggest takeaway for Friga in this game is defense, and he can learn a lot from Dev. Notice the difference in how they guard one another in triple threat. Dev mirrors Friga's movement and takes away his hard drive to the right, and Friga, well, Friga looks like MMA fighters feeling each other out before they start throwing punches. I can't emphasize this enough, and prior to watching Dev and Friga play each other, I just thought Friga wasn't trying much on defense. But he's got a lot of work to do in terms of understanding how to guard someone off triple threat, hands down. And if he wanted to beat Dev, he needed to play Dev by his own rules, which means guarding Dev like Dev guarded him, and hand-checking him like Dev hand-checked him. He never did any of these two things, and that's why he lost. His defense lacked the necessary physicality. He also wasn't hitting his shots like he normally does, and I think that's because Dev's defense had him flustered. I say this because if we look at his last game versus Dev, he 7-0's Dev, but Dev wasn't really playing any defense and was just giving Friga the shot. Which makes me think if Dev were to play the same defense he was in the first game, Friga wouldn't have gotten the buckets that he did in the last. So I'll say this, I think had there been an impartial ref, it would have been a closer game. Dev would have gotten called for his fouls, and Friga would have been able to drive more easily to his right, which would have given him the space he needed to get his shot off. Then Dev would have had to have chosen between giving Friga the shot or giving him the drive. In either case, after watching this matchup, and even with the ref, I'd still give it to Dev because his defense is leagues above Friga's. Alright, question for you guys. In this clip right here, do you think Dev was really trying to throw the ball through Friga's legs? Or do you think he was trying to cross over like he said? Leave a comment and let me know.
Nah, come on. Come on. You know, it may have seemed like I was trying to throw it between your legs, but I wasn't. Oh, I was trying to cross it. I just lost it right here.
Dev says he lost his handle. I don't believe him one bit.
I'm not doing that type of stuff.
First they got hacked, then it was their servers. I don't believe any of this shit.